July is Fibroid Awareness Month, and today we're shining a light on a condition that affects millions of women, yet it's still chronically underdiagnosed and underdiscussed.
By age 50, up to 80% of women will have developed fibroids, with black women disproportionately impacted. So what exactly are fibroids? How do they show up in the body, and what can you do about them? Here to break it all down is board-certified reproductive endocrinologist at RMA of New York, Dr. Jackson Bey. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
So wonderful to see you. Really important topic, so let's set the table. What exactly is a fibroid?
Fibroids are benign tumors of the uterus. And so really what that means is they're these kind of firm masses that grow in the uterus itself. They're not cancerous, but they can cause some problems.
Okay.
Millions of people have these.
Yeah.
Why are they often kind of looked over or not spotted properly?
Yeah, I think, we have a hard time really recognizing women's health issues and prioritizing women's health issues. Fibroids are not a new issue. Lots of women live with them, many without any issues, but some people can have some pretty significant symptoms from their uterine fibroids.
Yeah. So you said black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop fibroids. Why are they so disproportionately affected?
We really don't know completely. There are a few things that can increase risk for fibroids. Race is one, genetics is another. So if you hear about this in your family, it might be important to kind of recognize that it's something that can affect you as well. We also know that carrying extra weight and meat-based diets, as well as contact with endocrine disrupting compounds, which we hear a lot about in the media, can increase your risk of fibroids.
People are watching right now and they're like, I wonder if I have this.
Right.
What are some of the symptoms?
Symptoms that we want people to be aware of: heavy menstrual bleeding, very painful periods, and sometimes that pain can even extend to when you're no longer on your period, as well as discomfort with intercourse, frequent urination, and even issues with your bowels. These could all be signs of uterine fibroids.
What are the connections between fibroids and fertility, which is a whole other topic in and of itself?
Well, it's important to know that just because you have fibroids does not mean that there's a negative impact on your fertility. There can be some impact, and that's why we want people to be aware of it. But also there are a few things that we want to know: size of fibroids, location of fibroids, and then where in the uterus the fibroids are actually located. These things are really important.
And there's only one way to figure that out. Go to the doctor. Yes?
Exactly. That's exactly what we want you to do. Discuss your concerns, discuss your issues, and maybe see if fibroids are causing the problem.
What is the screening process? And forgive me if you already said this, but I'm trying to listen intently. What is the screening process for fibroids?
First, it starts with listening to a patient's story, to their symptoms, to their complaints. Then another thing that we do very commonly is to have an ultrasound. Ultrasound of the uterus can easily identify fibroids, allows us to assess size, location, and all of those other factors.
So it's not a painful process. It's an ultrasound.
No,
okay.
It's not. That's important to know.
Yeah. Right. The ultrasound, I've had many. It's the fun jelly.
Yep.
And then
the code name is Fun Jelly. It's like, bring in the Fun Jelly. What are some treatment options?
So there are lots of different treatments for fibroids depending on your symptoms. Some people with fibroids don't have to do anything, and that's important to know. Sometimes there can be medications that can help with the bleeding, and even more procedures that are help to shrink fibroids. One thing I want people to know: even if you have to have surgery for fibroids, it's very rare to have your entire uterus removed, which is a hysterectomy. That's something that's really a thing of the past, and if that's being suggested, you may want to seek a second opinion to know if that's important and doable for you.
To that point, how can patients advocate for themselves?
I think one of the most important things is just knowing your body, paying attention to your symptoms, especially if symptoms change over time. Don't ignore it. Make sure you write it down. Also, talking within families. Like I said, if you sit around the table at barbecues, at Christmas, and your aunt had fibroids and your mom had fibroids, then that might be something you want to discuss with your doctor as well, because you may be at risk.
And some are asymptomatic, so you may have them not even know it.
Absolutely. That's correct.
I did research.
Look at you. He's an advocate for women across the land.
Always.
That's why we keep
I love
him around.
that.
Always.
We love advocates.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you. Fantastic information, really useful for our viewers at home. If you do have questions on fibroids or infertility, follow Dr. Jackson Bey on Instagram.